Hello everyone, this is my channel Learn Web Technologies. Today we will talk about CSS position property. Position property specify the type of positioning method used for an element. For a particular element, we have a positions like static position, relative position, fixed position, absolute or static. Elements that are positioned using the top, bottom, left, and right property. These four properties we can use for a particular element. However, these properties will not work until we didn't specify this property. They also work directly. They also work differently depending on the position value. So let's talk about first property, that is position static. HTML elements are positioned static by default. This is a by default property. Static position elements are not affected by the top, left, right, bottom properties. Okay, let's see this with the help of example. This is the browser window and this is the sublime, this is the coding. Here I'm just adding a div where I'm mentioning the learn web technologies and a class with position, and here position we are writing border padding and 200 pixels. Now I'm adding position relative, not relative, position static. Okay, now adding top is for 500 px. Just save and then refresh. See, it's not doing anything. It's by default. It's the same that what is previously it is. An element with a position is not positioned any special way. It is always positioned according to the normal flow of the page. That's we already saw in this example. Here I'm mentioning position static and top 500. You can mention it left is 20 px, but it will not go anywhere. It's a default static property. Okay, now we will talk about position relative. An element with the position relative is the position relative to its normal position. Okay, like it's a normal position of this div. Setting the top, right, bottom, left properties of a relative position elements will cause it to adjusted away from its normal position. Other, it's a note like other content will not be adjusted to fit any gap left to the element. Now you can mention it here, a relative. Now that top and left property will work. Okay, this is the 500 px, this is the 20 px. Now you can write it 200 px and here also 200 px. Okay, you can add another div here and you can add p tag. Here you can write any name. Now it will not affect anywhere, it's coming from there. Okay, so this is the relative property. Position fixed. An element with the position fixed is position relative to the viewport. This is the relative of the window, and this is the position fix is related to the viewport like windows size, which means it always stays the same place even as pages scroll, like top, right, bottom, left properties are used to define. A fixed element does not leave a gap in the page where it would normally have been located. Instead of this you can write it position fixed and bottom 0, right 20 px. Just save and then refresh. It's coming in the left side pad. If we have many content, as this position is fixed, you can add content like this. If you want, you can just copy, paste many times so it scroll will come. Now you can see if scroll is coming, but the position of the element is fixed. Okay, so this is the benefit of our position fixed property. This is usually used for the scroll to up position. Like here we are using scroll to up, that is fixed from the right hand bottom side. That property is used for that. Okay, so now position absolute. An element with the position absolute is position relative to the nearest position ancestor. This is the main property of position absolute. Position absolute. Absolute property is the, like, many times you will use this property. This property is used for, like, if is a parent element is a relative property, then it will fix the layout. I will show you how it will do. Like, this property is position property. We can do a relative of this, and I'm just removing this, and here I'm adding p tag with the class name of any class name you can add. I'm just adding absolute. Just save, and for absolute you can write it position absolute right say 30 px bottom is 20 px. Just save and refresh. Now you can mention height here, so it will show you properly. See, you can 500 px. Like, learn web technologies is a relative, it's absolute property of this relative property. This is the, it's a parent relative element. Like, you can see position relative, position we are mentioning position relative, and here which property is absolute we are mentioning here inside this. If you can change to top, so it will taking the this div, this red border divs taking a right left bottom, not for the whole window. Not if an absolute position element has no position ancestor. It uses the document body and moves along the page scrolling. Okay, let's see also. You can remove this position relative. Now you can see the, its top is, you can remove this. For bottom you can add. See, this learn web technologies are coming here. Left is 500 px. See, learn web technologies is not dependent on this div now. If you will add a relative of this, now it will depend on this div. You cannot write right, you cannot write here left, you can write like this. Okay, the next property is sticking. This is the important property. Like, when you are scrolling and element is sticky on the top, that type of things you can do from this. An element with position sticky is position based on the user scroll position. Like, I want this div to stick on the top. Just, you can add it like border 5 px solid red. Just save and then refresh. It's coming now. You want, when you scroll up, it will stick on the top. Okay, so what you will write, position sticky top 0. Just save and then refresh. Now you can go to the top and it will, okay. So this is the sticky position of this. That's all for today. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great day.